Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Middleware Technologies. Today we are going to look at how we can use Jakarta JSON binding, that is JSON-B, to serialize and deserialize Java objects. So let us see how we can achieve this in this video. So I am currently working on the following test environment wherein I have JDK version of 17 installed with Apache Maven 3.9.1 and I am going to use VS Code editor to work on my code. Let us try to understand what is Jakarta JSON binding. So as we know, JSON is a very popular data exchange format which is widely used to communicate between different web services and connected applications. But how we are going to convert data into JSON? So let's say if we have a Java object that you want to convert into a JSON document and you want to share it with the other applications. So that's where the Jakarta JSON-B comes into picture. Jakarta JSON-B is a standard binding layer for converting Java objects to and from JSON messages. So it is a set of APIs with a set of specifications that is provided by Jakarta, which we can use or leverage in our code in order to convert our Java objects into a JSON document. So it defines a default mapping algorithm for converting existing Java classes to JSON. So by default, we get an algorithm for converting the Java classes to JSON, but it enables the developer to customize this mapping process through the use of Java annotations. So this is a advanced level of how we can customize the document that is getting generated out of a Java object, which we can do it using the Java annotations, but we are not going to look at that in this video. But we are going to look at the very basic understanding of how we can utilize the JSON binding in order to convert them into JSON objects. So in order to do that conversion from so Jakarta, it provides specifications or standards. So Jakarta provides us with a set of APIs, and it also provides us with a set of specifications in the JSR document. So there should be something that implements this API. So here, like, we are going to use one of that implementation. So one of the Jakarta JSON binding reference implementation is YASL, which is developed by Eclipse and is included as a part of Glassfish server. So the Jakarta JSON binding specification provides a standard binding layer, metadata and runtime between Java classes and JSON documents. So let us try to get into the procedure of implementation now that we have understood what is Jakarta JSON binding and what we are using it for. So as a first step, what we need to do is we need to create a Maven quick start project. So here, like, I'm going to use Maven in order to build or generate a quick start project. So let us go into our shell and we are going to use Maven arch-type generate in order to create this project, JSON bind test. So let us see, the group ID is CopStack, artifact ID is JSON bind test, artifact arch artifact ID that I am going to use is Maven arch-type quick start, and this is the version and this is the interactive mode that is going to be false because I am passing all the parameters. So let us try to generate this project. So our project is created. So let me go into the project and let us open this in VS Code editor. Let me increase my font size. So now we have our template project ready. So this is our project, template project with a hello world Java class that we can corresponding test class is also available. So we will try to modify this in order to implement our JSON-B binding. So let me go to my documentation again. So now we have completed our first step, that is created a Maven project. So now let us go to our next step, that is update the pom.xml file. So here in this step, we need to update our pom.xml file to include the implementation for the Jakarta JSON binding, and also to include the Jakarta JSON binding API, Jakarta JSON API, which provides us with the classes and interfaces. So we will need to include the Jakarta JSON bind API and JSON dependencies as shown below in the Jakarta JSON binding, as shown below. Okay. So as I mentioned already, Jakarta JSON binding is a standard binding layer for converting Java objects to and from JSON documents. And also like Eclipse JSON, which is an implementation, reference implementation of JSON-B, which we are going to use over here. There is one more dependency that we need to add, that is a plugin. So we are going to use the Maven Shade plugin. This plugin provides us with the capabilities to package the artifact in a uber jar. So what exactly uber jar is? Basically, it is going to package your jar along with all the dependencies so that we can execute it without having to provide the class paths where the Java API or the dependent jar files are available. So it basically this plugin provides the capabilities to package the artifact in a uber jar, including its dependencies, and to shade, that is rename the packages of some of the dependencies which we are not going to look at. So we can create a single independent jar file containing everything necessary to run the project. So that is the whole purpose of why we are using the Maven Shade plugin. A uber jar, as I said, it is a fat jar or jar with dependencies. So it is a jar file that contains not only Java program, but it embeds the dependencies as well, and might also contain the web application that needs to be executed. So that is all about the Maven Shaded plugin and the other dependencies that we need to add as a part of this implementation. So now let us go to our changes that we need to implement. So here, like, I'm going to take these two sections, the JSON dependency and the Jakarta JSON bind dependency. These are the two dependencies that we are going to add to the pom.xml. So let me go to my pom.xml, and in the dependencies section, we are going to add this dependency. Now we will need to add the plugin. So here, like, we are going to add this plugin information into the plugin section. So let me copy this and paste it into the plugins section. So we will take this whole plugin section and we will add it at the end of plugin management. So we have added the Maven Shade plugin. So this is going to be executed during the package phase, and what we need to update in the configuration section is the main class. So here, like, we have built a package that is ComStack, under which we have the app class. So we need to update our main class here in this section. So that is all we need to update in the pom.xml file. Now let us go to our next step, that is step 3. So here we are going to create a very basic person Java class, which we are going to convert into a JSON document. So this is basically a model Java class, we can say, which consists of two instance variables named name and address, and it also has the getter and setter methods along with the constructors to create that object. So we need the default constructor as well. So this is a default constructor which is required when we need to deserialize the JSON output to Java object. And also, like you can see, we are overriding the default toString method so that we can get a customized output of the Java object, which we will see in our next steps. So now let me copy this person So let me create this person class over here, and here like we will copy this whole section. So here I am going to copy this whole section. So as I mentioned, so it has two variables, name and address, and it has a default constructor, and it has a constructor which takes parameters name and address to initialize the object. And we have set name, get name, and we have set address and get address, and we have a override toString method which provides us with a customized output. So that is the model object that we are going to convert to JSON document. So now let us go to the next step, that is step 4, update the app.java to serialize and deserialize the Java object. So here first let us first create the update our app.java class. So let me take this whole content and copy it into the app.java class. And let us try to understand what exactly we are doing over here. So as I said, like we are going to convert a Java object into the JSON document. So for that, like we need to use the following classes or interfaces, we can say, so that are available in Jakarta.JSON.bind. So the JSON bind, it provides us with an instance of JSON binding, which helps us, which provides a framework in order to convert the Java objects to JSON and JSON documents to Java objects. So it is basically a wrapper which provides us with the methods which we can utilize to serialize and deserialize the objects. And JSON builder, so JSON builder, it provides us with the class provides us with the entry point to the JSON binding API. So it builds the JSON-B instance based on all the parameters and configurations provided before calling the build method. So as I said, the JSON-B provides an abstraction over the JSON binding framework operations. So basically it has methods like from JSON to read the JSON input and deserialize to Java objects, or to JSON which serializes the Java objects content to JSON input. So JSON builder is basically a entry point to the JSON binding API. So it basically takes the configuration and builds the JSON B instances which we can utilize in order to serialize and deserialize the objects. So let us see like our main class, that is app.java. So here like we have defined a variable or JSON output which will capture our document, and here like we are instantiating the person object with the default parameters, and this is where like we are going to create the JSON binding object with custom configuration. Okay, so for that first we need to create a config object using the JSON-B config with the custom formatting that we want to supply. So here like we are passing up we are calling with formatting true, so that it maintains the formatting, that is line breaks or indentation or new line characters. And next like we are going to create an instance of JSON-B using the JSON builder by passing the config that we have, custom config that we have just instantiated. And here comes the important part, that is serializing the Java objects to JSON document. Here like we are using the toJSON method that is provided by the JSON-B instance in order to convert our person class to JSON output, and we are printing that output. And then we are going to deserialize the JSON document to Java object. So here like we are taking that output and passing it as a string parameter to from JSON. So So here is the string parameter, and we need to pass the class type for that JSON document so that we can build the object. And we are going to print that object using the toString, which is a customized output for our class that our model class that we have created. There is one thing that we did a mistake over here. So in the pom.xml, like we copied our JSON binding dependency and the YASN dependency into dependency management, but we are supposed to copy this into the dependencies section. So I'm going to update it over here. So that is the only thing. So that is why it was not able to reference these classes and interfaces. So now our imports are referenced, and they are able to reference using the dependencies. So now it is time to build and package our application. So we are going to use maven clean package in order to build our jar file. So let me do maven clean package. This is going to build our jar file. So this jar file is going to be available over here. So if you see, there will be two jar files that you will be getting over here. So one is a jar file which with your source code, and this is the original jar file, and the other one is going to be the jar file with dependencies. So that is what we are going to execute. So if you do targets star ls-lbr, so this is the original jar file which has only your source code, but this is the jar file that has all the dependencies. So let us try to execute it. So next step, that is step 6, is validating the application. So here, like, we are going to execute our jar file. So this is how, like, we are going to execute it by passing the jar file name, and we will get the serialized JSON document, and then the deserialized Java object, which is a custom output of the person class. So this is how, like, we can use the Jakarta JSON-B APIs and its reference implementation in order to serialize and deserialize the Java objects. So this is a very basic sample that we have looked, but there are various other annotations and that are provided by the Jakarta JSON binding. So if you go to the following link, which provides with the JSON-B API, it provides with the different information to how we can use this JSON-B API in order to convert our Java objects to JSON documents. So this is all I wanted to show you in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you all. Thanks for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.